Alright, it is just a matter of a second. It is all about the Western culture that is normally being celebrated, but it is not every year. We are going to find out why do they have to do circumcision. It is an initiation process that has been taking place over the years, and the Western people have been practicing this now and then. Why do they have to do this? For what reason and for what purpose? And what is the essence of culture? Join me as I start this a piece of documentary, bringing you what is normally happening from the first position all through the process until the end. Now, let's go.
In many given society, human development is based on various customs, factors, beliefs, and rite of passage, such as birth, initiation, as well as marriage, among others. These life stages are vital in one's community, though they may differ, but they mark a significant transition from one level to the next, hence considered maturity development. In this case, let's have a focus on one of all-time season of circumcision in the Western Kenya. That's the cut of the knife. We start our journey to one of households at Mwanda village, South Bukusu ward in Bungoma County, to see the way culture is embraced and how important circumcision among the Western people in Kenya. On our way, we also meet other different groups singing as they prepare their initiates for the circumcision. This practice has been taking place over the years with the zeal, energy, and a collective responsibility.
Siku ya leo tunawatairisha mtoto mwenye anajua kutahiri. Kutahiri ni nini? Anaoka mwenyewe. Mama asimuoshe. Akuwe mtu mkubwa, akuwe mtu wa heshima. Kutahirisha vijana si ati tunatahirishanga tu bure. Tunatahirisha vijana kwa ajili ya kwamba akuwe mtu mzuri na mtu mkubwa. Ajue vile anajilinda na mwili yake.
Their unity is evident, moving together, singing cultural songs. Indeed, it's the circumcision season. In an hour time, we arrive at Mwanda Market, where we meet Epaphras Barasa, who is a cousin to Levi, the initiate. He receives us warmly as he shares the details on what to expect. More interestingly, we started interacting with a unique term, kuminya, meaning the whole circumcision process, for sure, is time to kuminya. What a terminology. Initiatives group is at the market, heading towards home, singing and dancing. At this moment, we found two bands, one in front and the other one behind. We are told that, according to the Bukusu, during the eve, the initiate is taken to the uncle, and when the uncle meets the initiate, a gift is guaranteed. This happens only if the uncle had paid dowry, and if the uncle has nothing to offer, then he has the right to be absent and the initiate will be taken back home. Levi, the initiate, has been blessed with a God, marking an awesome mile in his circumcision journey. A story to narrate. According to the community, the bands have different roles. The first one, its mandate is to send signal to the family that the initiate is around and is coming, while the second band has the initiate. It is during this moment where endless singing is done, and not anyhow, but with a purpose. It is during this ample moment that songs are used to ridicule bad deeds, critique bad behavior, such as stealing, harlotry, among others in the community. At this stage, the initiate is referred to as Omusinde, a Bukusu term that refers to the initiate as uncircumcised, but expecting to be circumcised. Now, what about the name of the circumcised? The initiate arrives home where the father, Augustine Simiyu, has been waiting for him eagerly. Together with the elders, he receives him, and at this moment, no one has time to laugh, joke, or even break a silence with a laughter. It is a serious business. The father issues stern instructions, telling the son that is the way he wanted. And as a man, always be extremely confident in everything. A strong belief that is vital when transforming from childhood to adulthood.
Mimi nafurahia utamaduni wetu juu wakati sasa watoto wanatairiwa, ndio sasa ndio kuonyesha kwamba mtoto amekomaa.
Here we also noted that the initiate in these communities is the one opting to go through the cut willingly, or in any case convinced by the culture and practices within or around them.
Mtoto anaamua, mtoto akiamua, kama kwa mfano niseme hivi, kama huyu wangu huyu nilimwambia nimpeleke hospitali, huyu mtoto wa ndugu yangu, mwambia yeye nimpeleke yeye hospitali, akakataa, papa pana, mimi kwa poma.
After receiving instructions from the father, the initiate is then proceeding with songs and dances, endless songs, as the people moved around him, encouraging him and enjoying the rhythm. Surprisingly, here the team singing is always re-energized by other teams from various groups as they join the family during the night. The team joining can get tired and rest, while another team joins and keep the momentum high. The initiate responds through skillfully playing and ringing the bells that are well tied to his hands. At this moment, the family prepares a meal for the people present to take. An elder brother to Augustine shares how significant it is for one to go through the cut.
Waswahili husema mwacha mila ni mtumwa. Kimila hatuwezi kuacha kimila. Kimila inaendelea na itakuwa. Sababu niseme hivyo, hao wadairishaji wenye wanadairi watoto hao tunaita baadhi hawa wanazaa watoto na hawa mpaka mtoto wake hawezi wacha.
Embracing culture to them, it is an honor and a heritage of the highest order and respect in their community, and therefore one has to go through the cut so that they can be considered as great men who are prepared and ready to take charge and face the world. It is a symbol of superiority for those who dare.
Muhimu inafanyanga ukienda mahali unarespektiwa. Mtu mwenye alikuja kwa direct kwa boma alienda akakuja akasimama asubuhi akakatwa.
But for those who may fear the cut, they are considered as inferior men, despised by the society, mocked, and even not considered during decision-making. They are assumed that they cannot lead, and during elders' meeting, they have nothing to put across. Omukebi, a Bukusu name that refers to the circumciser, the man of the blood. It is believed that one can become a circumciser through the lineage of relatives, and one can be tormented with spirits for this case. Silas Barasa narrates how he became an Omukebi.
Hiyo ugonjwa ikawarudi tena, ikanishika. Ilikuwa mwezi wa 7 ndio ifike mwezi wa 8 wakati ya kutairiwa, ikaniweka chini tena. So kuenda tena kwa wazee, wakasema kuna mila yenye huyu mtoto ilimshika kama angali mdogo. Wakakuja tena wakanishughulikia, wakanipea kisu. Sasa wakati ilifika mwezi wa 8, wakati ya kucheza, vile nilitoka mtoni walinisikisha kisu. Nikakuja kusimama hapo kwa boma na wakinitairisha, mimi naye niko na kisu yangu. Maana yake mimi naye nitakuwa mtairishaji.
It is through sickness that eventually made him realize his career as one of the greatest circumcisers in the Bukusu community. He also knows that it is a process and not a walk in the park. And in Bukusu, only men are allowed to be circumcised. They only work under the consent of the parent after being allowed to, and in case they are denied, they have no option but to obey and move to the next household and ask whether to be allowed or not to circumcise.
Watairishaji wa huko nyuma walisema, ukienda kuomba kazi, wakikwambia kuna mtairishaji mwenzako ametangulia kwa hii boma, wewe sema sawa, unarudi nyumbani. Hapo unachipa shughuli nyingine kuenda kutafuta pali pengine. Hiyo ndio cha kwanza. So kama mimi mtairishaji. So wakikukataza, wakisema hakuna nafasi, unatii sharia ya hiyo boma na unachipa shughuli kusonga kwingine.
Although they say that only men are allowed, but circumcision spirits may dwell in ladies, some of the signs include crying, trembling, and even wailing. But what's the remedy for this? And after treated based on their culture, they become cool and humble and can continue with their duties. Omukebi always spend time with the initiate during the night from midnight till dawn to observe them on matters eligibility, whether they are ready and capable of facing the cut of the knife.
It is exactly 2:30 a.m., just 30 minutes before the initiate is being taken to the river. More than 5 hours now, as you can hear behind me, they are just singing, and those are just the music. One thing you didn't know is about the singing. What does it mean in this community? Singing means that they ridicule the bad behavior in the community or in the society for the people, telling them that enough is enough. It's now time to turn back. Also, singing to them means that they motivate the initiate to make sure that he is being re-energized, he is being affirmed and feel motivated and being courageous so that he can be in a position to face the knife.
The initiate wakes up very early in the morning and in most cases at 3 a.m. At this time, he is being re-energized in order to align himself with the courage and confidence so that he can meet the knife. They sing and keep dancing in high spirits around him, and when he is ready, the father again provides remarks and affirms the son to simply let the circumcisers to deal with him the way they will wish, meaning not to try and resist such. After the instructions, the initiate is now taken to the river. At this moment, any attire the initiate will be having is left behind and walks to the river with no clothes and barefooted as they sing cultural songs to motivate, encourage, strengthens the initiate not to fear anything. You can just imagine how rough and tough the way to the river is. Rough road, harsh terrain, and railway full of stones. The initiate always persevere a lot. I'm sure you can survive in these harsh and stone areas, but the boy managed. It's early in the morning. We are heading to the nearest river so as to see what normally happens. But why mud?
The smearing of the mud to the initiate is just a honor to the first person in the Kusu society to be circumcised, who was called Mango, who went to the river and he was smeared and he came home and he was circumcised. And the second thing is that that boy that is going to be circumcised cannot pass. That is just another way of making him clean, so that by the time he is well, then he will shower.
So it means immediately after this one, so the next process is to make the knife.
Yes, from here we go direct home and the boy will be circumcised.
The initiate is now taken back home but using a different route opposite to the previous one so as to avoid any obstacle that might have been placed against them. On the way, songs surrounds the atmosphere and is always a collective responsibility. The first band always keeps a distance of like 100 meters between the two bands. The first band moves with speed and in most cases is comprised of children, ladies, and some boys. The second band, ladies are not allowed to be close to it. It is already morning. We are getting back home for the final stage, the cart. The apex of the circumcision is the cart. At home, the circumcisers are very ready and the expert is always trained in a way that within 10 seconds, the cart is successfully done. As the initiate approaches home, people are already set and create enough space for the initiate to pass through towards the circumciser for the cut, a scenario that takes within the shortest time possible, the cut of the knife. Followed by a whistle, symbolizes that this initiate has been cut and now is referred to as Omusani, hence declared circumcised. Hope now you know, and the initiate is no longer a child but joining the adulthood family. Now he can represent the family and be of help in making decisions as well. The question is, as they embrace this culture, what is the future and the state of cultural practices such as circumcision in the Western Kenya in the next 5 to 10 years.
Hii nilitafuta kwa shughuli ya hii mwezi wa 8 kwa ajili ya kutayarisha watoto. Unajua sasa kulingana na kimila ya Waluya, mtoto akienda kutoka mtoni, watu wa mbele.
It is just 10 minutes before 8 a.m. early in the morning. Remember that this is a process that we started earlier on yesterday in the evening, where we were in a position to experience the whole process of circumcision from step 1 to the very end. Remember that it has been an amazing experience to witness the Western people. I'm in Bungoma County right now, one of the households here, where one of their children went through these processes from step 1 to the very last. And this today marks the apex of this event, and that's why the child already is there being surprised, given gifts, so that any person who goes through this process successfully now is considered as a man, because he breaks that for him being a child, he is no longer a child. He is now considered a man. He can make decisions, he can represent the home, he can speak, and he can join other men in making important decisions. The event come to an end with a climax where the child is currently there receiving gifts. He has already been given some of the gifts, including money. We have presents like foodstuffs. We have presents like clothes. We have presents. So some of the family, as you can see there, we have his father who is now receiving him back to the home, so that now it is a process of recuperating from the cut. So, and in a 1 week time, the child will now be fine, and that's when he will be in a position to take birth. But what does this mean? It is very important. This one now, it is the initiation process from childhood to adulthood. It has been an amazing experience. My name is Gideon Iyeri, and this has been The Cut of the Knife.
Oh,